You're looking for a camera that won't feel like a tech puzzle you have to solve every time you want a decent shot, something that slips into your daily routine without stealing all your time or money. You've probably heard the buzz about Fujifilm's APS-C line, seen the glossy ads, and wondered if the hype translates into a tool that actually works when you're out on a weekend hike, at a family dinner, or trying to capture a spontaneous street scene. That hesitation is real. Spending a few $100 on a camera that ends up being fiddly, noisy and low light, or just another gadget that gathers dust is a risk you don't want to take. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's unpack what makes this Fujifilm 16-megapixel mirrorless camera tick, and more importantly, where it might fall short for the different kinds of shooters out there. First off, the sensor. Fujifilm sticks with its signature 16.3-megapixel X-Trans CMOS 2 sensor, paired with an EXR processor too. In plain language, that combination gives you a camera that reproduces color in a way that feels more like film than the clinical look you sometimes get from other brands. Real-world test drives I've seen show that the classic chrome mode, now expanded to 11 film simulations, adds a subtle but distinct mood to street portraits and autumn foliage without needing any post-processing. If you're the type who likes to shoot and share straight from the camera, that palette is a genuine time saver. Autofocus is where many beginners get tripped up, especially in tricky lighting. This model's electronic viewfinder is a recent addition, and it does more than just show you what the sensor sees. It offers focus peaking and magnification that let you lock onto a subject with confidence, even when you're handholding at f/2.8 in a dimly lit restaurant. In practice, the focus lock feels reliable enough that you can start composing a shot, half-press the shutter, and the camera will stay locked while you reframe. That consistency translates into fewer missed moments at a birthday party or a spontaneous street performance. Low-light performance is another practical concern. The 16-megapixel sensor isn't the highest resolution you can find today, but that lower pixel count actually helps keep noise under control when you push the ISO. I've seen photographers use it at ISO 6400 for indoor events and still get usable images with decent detail in the shadows. The electronic shutter, capable of speeds up to 1/32 SEC, also means you can freeze fast action in bright daylight without worrying about overexposure. Think of catching a cyclist sprinting past a sun-splashed pier. However, the camera does lack an optical or sensor shift stabilization system, so you'll need to rely on steady hands or a tripod for longer exposures, especially in low-light scenarios where you're pushing the ISO. Now let's talk lenses. Fujifilm's mount ecosystem is one of the strongest points for anyone looking to grow beyond a kit lens. Even though this body ships with a basic zoom, the mount supports a wide array of prime and zoom lenses that range from ultra-wide 10mm to bright 23mm f/1.4 primes. For a hobbyist who wants to start exploring shallow depth of field for portraits, the availability of fast primes at reasonable prices is a real advantage. That said, if you're already invested in a different system, say, Canon's EFM mount or Sony's mount, switching over would mean buying new lenses, which can add up quickly. Menu navigation on Fujifilm cameras has a reputation for being a bit of a love-hate relationship. The top dial and front dial layout is intuitive once you get the hang of it, and most of the essential settings, ISO, shutter speed, exposure compensation, are just a twist away. The downside is that digging into deeper custom settings can feel a bit labyrinthine, especially if you're not used to Fujifilm's film simulation workflow. For a beginner who wants a point-and-shoot experience, the learning curve is manageable, but expect to spend a weekend watching quick tutorials to avoid feeling lost. Battery life is something we often overlook until it becomes an issue on a full day of shooting. This model uses Fujifilm's standard NPW126 battery, which typically delivers around 300 shots per charge under mixed conditions. In practice, that means you can get through a normal weekend outing without a spare, but if you're planning a full day of video work, remember the camera shoots Full HD at 60 FPS. You'll want an extra battery or a power bank with a dummy load. The video side is solid for casual creators, 1080p at multiple frame rates gives you enough flexibility to get smooth motion for YouTube vlogs or family events. And the exposure adjustment during filming means you can tweak brightness on the fly without stopping. So, who should actually buy this camera? If you're a beginner who wants a system that feels approachable, gives you film-like colors right out of the box, and has an ecosystem you can grow into without breaking the bank, it's a strong contender. It's also a good fit for hobbyists who enjoy street photography or